I still can't believe it's been that long ago. It feels like yesterday. 20 years ago this week, one of the most devastating hurricanes in the U.S. history made landfall. Category 5 Hurricane Katrina was one of the costliest and deadliest storms we've ever seen, and one military task force organized relief efforts along the Gulf Coast to help residents during the aftermath. Now, it was Category 3 when it came ashore, but it did massive amounts of damage. The commander of those operations was Lieutenant General Russel Honore, who joins us now. Lieutenant General, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an honor to have you on the show for sure before. I just want to say thank you for the service that you did 20 years ago, right off the bat.
Thank y'all for doing the great job y'all did on the July flood over in Texas.
Oh, yeah, that was another huge story for sure. So, sir, I just want to ask you a question. You are from Louisiana, and I know that the hurricane hit Louisiana into Mississippi on August 29th of 2005. You flew in a helicopter 2 days later on the 31st. What were your thoughts when you saw what was going on below you?
Well, I can tell you, flying into New Orleans and flying over the port to see all the equipment that was pre-positioned for export, and all you could see was the top of it, was disheartening. And then watch all those homes when all you could see was the roof. Then flying over the Superdome and looking down and seeing what looked like 15, 20,000 people standing outside the Superdome, that was concerning.
Did you have any idea what the scope of the situation was before you flew in there?
No, well, we were watching news feeds coming in and satellite shots, but we had no idea the number of people that needed to be evacuated. We do know 80% of the people in post-storm reports did evacuate. The problem was that 20% that didn't evacuate, and that's what we were seeing at the Superdome, the Convention Center, and on the roofs of homes and on the interstate highways. So that was very concerning.
Yeah, Lieutenant General, what was the first thing you did when you hit the ground? I mean, it must have been overwhelming.
Yes, sir. I got off that helicopter at the Superdome at 9:47 on Wednesday morning, went in to see the mayor. He was very straight on his priorities. Let's get these people evacuated. And I flew from him to go see the governor and Governor Blanco, who since passed. She was very clear in her stridence. General, go back and try to help us get these people evacuated, provide food and water. And I flew back to New Orleans and met with the mayor and with the National Guard. And we organized the movement of the people from the Superdome through the Galleria to Partner Street, where they could catch buses. And that's what they started loading on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
That was a significant move to start the evacuation. And we were hosted by the great state of Texas and the mayor of Houston. The people in Texas and Houston did a great job hosting the people from Louisiana.
Yeah, I was working for CNN at the time, and I remember about a week later, we had all these license plates from Louisiana showing up in Georgia. I was like, wow, they're just dispersing from all over the place. About how long did it take, sir, to get everybody evacuated out of there that needed to be evacuated?
We got the folks, we cleared on Saturday everybody from the Superdome, the interstates, and the Convention Center on Saturday. The people at the Superdome, the interstate, moved by bus, and the people from the Convention Center, we were able to take them by bus to the airport. And United States Transportation Command, with the authorization from the Secretary of Defense, moved in wide-body aircraft and stacked them up over New Orleans and flew people out of New Orleans Airport, which was open on Saturday. And we moved about 18,000 people that day out of the New Orleans Airport. And they went indiscriminately to cities all over America, Atlanta being one of them. Atlanta took a lot of people in by bus as well as by airplane, but we had planes going all over the country getting people out of New Orleans.
It was a spectacular movement by everybody involved. Once you got your feet on the ground, I remember watching it and watching it on the air and thinking, this guy's taking control. So that was 20 years ago, sir. Do you think we're better prepared? I mean, it's only been 2 decades. Do you think we're better prepared if we have another huge storm like that rolling into a major U.S. city?
Well, we're better prepared on the alert side. We saw some degradation in the alert. That's mean the weather warning alert and the pre-positioning, which was a normal role in FEMA. And I hope the federal government get that fixed, because we didn't do some of the preparedness thing we normally would do for the 4th of July flood like prepositioning, but we know what to do. It's the authorization that FEMA needs to go ahead and do it. But I do think FEMA know what to do in terms of the search and rescue and that phase of the operation. A recovery is always a living hell, and it takes people sometimes 2-3 years to get their recovery claims resolved. And that part of FEMA needs to be improved. And I hope the president, not to get political, move FEMA back under the White House and move it from under DHS, because FEMA know what to do. We got to rebuild the FEMA staff because under Doge we lost about a third of them. But we can get them people back, and we can make the American people feel assured that FEMA will be there when they need them in a better format where they can serve the people quicker. But alert is important, you know that. And the big thing I remind everybody in all these, you got to be prepared to evacuate. Because the people that didn't evacuate is a high proportion of people that died. The people we pulled out of homes were alone, they were elderly, and they were poor, and many of them were home alone. And we've got to organize our streets inside our municipalities to make sure that no one be left behind in the next evacuation.
Yeah, let's just hope that doesn't happen right before. And sir, you retired from the U.S. Army back in 2008. Do you still have your hands involved with all these coordinating things?
Absolutely. With NGOs and with faith-based organizations and with the Red Cross, I'm still on the Red Cross board as an emeritus member, and I go all over the country preaching culture of preparedness and making sure people are prepared to evacuate, whether it's fire, flood, or whatever the situation is. You got to be prepared to evacuate, because on any given day, as you know, as a weatherman, Mother Nature can break anything built by man. So we must be prepared.
Yeah, you're right. I remember the old timers telling me before, you cannot hold back the ocean, you cannot hold back the Gulf, no matter how hard you try.
Absolutely. We got to be prepared.
Yeah, Lieutenant General Russel Honore, it's an honor to talk to you, and I just want to tell you my thanks for what you did 20 years ago and for your service other than that as well. It's been an honor to talk to you this afternoon, sir. Thank you.
God bless.
Yeah, you too.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. He's 100% right, right? All right, so Fox Weather, we are your Hurricane HQ, and we are continuing to chronicle that nightmare that unfolded about 20 years ago. We're talking about Hurricane Katrina as it tore through not just New Orleans, but into Mississippi and Alabama as well. Now, you can catch part 2 of our 4-part docuseries, Katrina's Wrath, 20 years later. The new episode premieres tonight at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fox Weather.